Good morning, and thank you for joining us on today's breakfast show.
Welcome back. It's still the breakfast show, reaching you live from our studios here in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. VRL TV, your home of talk and entertainment. This morning we have some guests in the studios, and Stephen and I have quite a couple of questions to ask them. Remember, I said that we were going to look at the state of the level of education in Nigeria. That's one topic it can never become stale, you know, because it's what has come to stay with us. A society is measured by the level of its educational sector. And so, doing justice this morning, I have this gentleman. Good to have you on Breakfast Show. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Let me let you introduce yourself. So.
My name is Good Morning Nigeria. My name is Joel Darlington Chukwumanyanji. I'm the chairperson of Amac Zenith NAPS. NAPS is National Association of Proprietors of Private School.
Okay, so you have a lot to say this morning. And you are?
Good morning, Nigeria. My name is Oladunjoye Olanrewaju Shegun. I'm the secretary of NAPS Amac Zenith chapter.
Okay, so we have a lot to say this morning, because you people are more like you call the shots. You are the top. You are the aim of affairs when it comes to people who mold, like we say, the future young leaders of tomorrow, the future children. They say are the leaders of tomorrow. So you have that task, responsibility to ensure that they are groomed properly. So let me start now with the fact that. Before now, in recent time, there was a time we looked at the state of out-of-school children in Nigeria. And it was an alarming report that we stumbled on, UNESCO alarming report that almost 22 million Nigerian children are out of school. What's your take on that?
Well, I wouldn't agree with UNESCO anyway, totally, because our schools, UNESCO's do not go around to do a kind of a count check on schools based on the fact that they just pick some catchy areas.
But there's a state of emergency in that area, you would agree? Yes, but maybe the records may not have been up to that amount, but you cannot just say because I know they have their own facts.
It's escalating based on the fact that we have too many private schools around Nigeria that is not being captured by UNESCO. Presently, Nigerian government is doing something about that, like the NPA form that just took place about 3 months ago. Nigerian National Personnel Audit that went around trying to see that we capture all the schools that have school children in their schools, not just the public schools. So the UNESCO's are looking at just maybe very few schools that they have gone to or they have captured. But they have not gone even into the...
Their interest is out of school children. It's children that are not in school. So that kind of research, I think, should be done outside the school environment.
If they say out of school children, how did they get... Probably they see children on the street.
Okay, so let me take you up, sir. What, like the topic rightly says, the state of education in Nigeria. You are private schools, proprietors of private schools. Yeah. Now, how would you describe the level of education presently in our country?
Okay, statistically, if you are to talk about the UNESCO Global Report, there was one that came up on the 2022, on the 1st of September, which was about 20 million Nigerians are out of the school. And truly, if you look at it critically, you can see that there are some factors that we need to consider that makes this a report to sometimes be a reality. If you look at like a socioeconomic problem, poverty and all those, and most especially the impact of insurgency that made a lot of Nigerians. There was a report I watched on the news when some of these Chibok girls were released. They were being asked, are you going back to school? If you see, their response was that no, we are not going back to school. Why? Because there are these factors that make them to be out of schools. Now, government needs to improve and make a kind of a learning environment, a safety learning environment by which some of these reports can be minimized. Initially, it was 10.1 million. Now,
Yes, it was. Before it
but
got
now
to
it's
20.
20 million, and it's giving an alarming rate that Nigerian children are out of school. So Nigerian government needs to put more effort and ensure that safety environment some things are being put in place, basic infrastructures are being put in place to encourage Nigerian children to be in school. Even if you look at it, this Nigerian government, they embarked on this school feeding to entice children back to school, but it's not enough. Some infrastructures that have to be put in place to reduce this out of school children in Nigeria.
Okay, so what kind of infrastructure? I know you have to come to the government supporting NAPS. We know that it gets there. But before then, now research will say that the enrollment of pupils into schools is the largest component for societal investment into human capital. Now, Mr. Darlington, what's your take on that?
Actually, you are very correct. Based on the fact, if you look at, if we say that our schools should be shut down for a week, it will affect the economy drastically, based on the fact that education sector has a lot of employment. Education sector has employed, they have manpower. You understand what I'm saying? Based on the fact that we have about, in Abuja alone, we have about 4,000 private schools. So just imagine if 4,000 private schools shut down. Imagine how many labor force will be out of employment.
Okay, 4,000 private schools. Stephen, you've not been talking, but before, I know you have a lot on your mind. What, as a parent, what do I look out for when I'm going for a private school? Because as it is now, there should be, in our constitution, we're supposed to have free education, right? Especially at the primary school level. It's free, it's compulsory, because like you were saying off camera that it was in 1999, Nigeria adopted it as a law. That, okay, at a certain age, a child should be in school. Now, for some people, they cannot, they are stuck with the government primary school education. Now, if you don't want to do that, you're seeking for private schools or looking out to get one, what are those signs to look out for? Why should I bring my child to a private school?
Okay, if you are looking at, that is, you are looking at the advantage of private school. Now, private school have a standard compared to public schools anyway. We are not debating about public, but what we are going to, before a parent, we are paying for value. That is why most parents, they consider, one, the standard of education in private school. If you look at private university and private public government universities, you see that there are some differences. So parents are paying for value, and in a private school there is a safe learning environment which parents want their children to be. If you go to some public school, you see, like when I was in public school, when we were young then, you discover that the index of students in the class, the population of students in the class then was about maybe 20, 35, but now at public school, you have about 90, 60 students in the class.
150.
About 150. The index is high. But when you go to private school, you see that the index, maybe in a class, before you move to the next maybe basic 1A, at least in the class, will be around maybe 15, 20 and so on, before you move to the next class. So these are the things that parents look at. And a teacher will get tired giving assignments and all those things. So private school, the standard is there.
Is it the same curriculum?
Yeah,
the same curriculum.
It's the same curriculum.
The same
Public
curriculum.
and private schools.
Yes, the same curriculum that we run.
It's
run the same curriculum. It's
The
just
only
that
thing is that maybe some we do it add up. You understand? We add up like adding up British Nigerian curriculum, American Nigerian curriculum. But basically, every private school, every public school uses the same curriculum. Because like NAPS partner with DQA, ERC to make sure and ensure that every school uses Nigerian curriculum. It's same.
And as I've said, you know, the methodology of delivery of education in private school is different from public school. We may use the same curriculum, the method of delivery is different. You can see that a student is entitled to, a teacher is entitled to maybe one or two, maybe to each student is entitled to have a teacher's attention than a school where you have a teacher with about 100. How will the child get an attention? So these are some of the things that makes private school also.
And even in private schools, you see that even in that little class of about 20, you know, we said that 20 population in the class is a standard population. In that same 20 population, you see that we have 2 teachers. Yeah. You have 2 teachers, the major teacher teaching and a teacher that is assisting teacher.
That's the way it is now. All right. I know that in the public schools, I don't think it is the way it used to be, where you pack more than 50 students. I think
well, Nigeria is trying.
You can go. You can verify. Even the government is trying, but you still go to some of these public schools. I just don't want to mention some schools, but you can find out from some of these public schools. You still see a lot of students in the same class.
Yeah. All right. I know. There is that difference between private schools and public schools, and why some parents send their children to public schools majorly is because of cost. So I want to ask you, Chairman, what do you think are the major challenges for public schools and the government should look into?
I will say I'm not in
I know you're not in the public schools.
I'm not in the public school. I'm not in the public school to say I will have to know the challenges, but like if I look at it in your angle, the government should do more. The government should really do more by helping to...
Because the way it's going, private school is taking up everything.
Yes.
If a parent has money, he will definitely put his children
It's not if a parent have money. Most schools is not all about money. It's very affordable. There are so many schools that are very affordable.
I also know that there are some private schools that are not meeting up to standards. So how do you work on that? Especially you are with the Amac Zenith. That's you said around the Yanya axis into Orozo. Now there are some places that when you even get to the school, they say it's a private school. First, the building is not suitable for learning. It's been converted from a residential to a school. How do you checkmate all of those? Would I say, are they quacks or?
Thank you very much. You know, NAPS is working in partnership with DQA, Department of Quality Assurance. There's Department of Quality Assurance that monitors the guidelines and rules of schools in FCT. So before any school, as member of NAPS also, we have our own part to play, and we ensure that you must have basic standard before you open a school. Before you start any process of opening school, you must first visit the Department of Quality Assurance. They will give you a guideline which you must go through. The standard, the condition of the classroom, everything will be spelled out before you start your school. So you must know the rules before you invest into the business. So by then you will now fill there's a form you will get. After getting the form, you fill it with all your documentation and nothing before they come for inspection and all those things before they give you a go ahead. Though,
really? Yeah. There's some people operating without getting that
actually, there are some. Actually, there are, one or two cases, that open. But the Bible says, despite not the days of little beginning, there are people that started, but DQ is encouraging them, come out, let's guide you. Even if you have started on the wrong note, come out, get the form, get the guideline, put things in order. So get it right. When you get it right, then you can continue your business. But they will keep telling you and sensitizing you on what to do and how to move on.
Okay, so what are the challenges NAPS is facing right now? The economy is not smiling.
The challenges.
We know where the times that we're in. So how have you been able to keep your business afloat? In as much as I wouldn't want to say it's a business, because I believe people who are teaching children and molding them should not first look at it as a business. You must look at how you want to impact.
It's the passion. It's the passion.
So are you staying up there at these times?
Actually, we are trying, but we need the government to give us a little assistance. Government is not helping us in any way.
I think they helped you during COVID.
Okay, let me come in. Let me come in. In what I'm saying, if you talk about COVID and there are grants like what is it, palliatives? I'm talking about giving loans, soft loan grants. You understand? Like in the agriculture sector, they give Bank of Agriculture give loans to farmers, isn't it? back of industry, give loans to companies. You understand? Like in the transport sector, National Union of Road Transport Workers and NATO and the rest of them. They give them loan, they give them grant. But in private school, they will tell you that we are making money. I don't know how we are making money. But the transporters, they make money, they make hell of money. The farmers make money. But we are into social responsibility.
Let me comment. Let me just chip in something. Do you know that during the COVID, most of our schools could not survive?
Yes.
We lost some proprietors during the COVID. And most of the things, the challenges we have is all this multiple taxation.
Multiple taxation.
It's killing the business. Once you are a school owner, everybody believes you are a millionaire. That is even to the mind of God. There was a time we were trying to negotiate with government officials. They were saying, you are school owners. And
you have money.
You have money. But it's not like that. They have not considered our plight. Like, you have a school of maybe 100, only maybe 20 students are paying. The money is not there. Parents are not paying, with the economic situation, too much debt. To the extent that some schools have, we have a list of schools that have closed up.
They have closed up.
So we need government to come in and help us. You see, when government want to have their intervention, they go into the public schools. And these public schools, as we asked the other time, that what can government do? Like, I remember when we were young then, in a community, you can have a public school like 3, 4, 5. But here in Abuja, I can say that in a community, you have only one public school.
Yes.
And in that school, the community, the total population of students in that community can be about 5,000 or 6,000. Can they?
What has contributed to that, to the records we have now? Because I went to a public school. Yes, I remember in Pangrove in Lagos, and it's not like what we have today. The standards have dropped like some people say, and all of that. So what would you say has caused all of this difference? Are we going to say, is it that the people that are in charge are not doing what they should do? Is SON not keeping up to standards, or what? What could be the problem?
Like I said before, I said that the government need to improve in their delivery. You understand? The government need to improve. We in the private sector, we are doing our best.
So how do you tackle, because I know you want government to at least help in funding private schools as well.
Yes.
How do you negotiate that with the people responsible? Because I know I've done some reports on how governments should include private schools in their budgets, but it's like the attention is totally on the private schools. Do you have a body that goes to the government to talk about it and give them your reasons?
Yes, this NAPS, National Association of
so how do you go about
private schools. We have our national president, we have our LCT president, and all them. We are engaging the government. But the major challenge we have is they are seeing every school owner as a millionaire. They are seeing every school owner as having money, but they don't consider that there are rural areas where you will see little schools, and if you go into the creeks, very interior villages, you see a school. So that school that is managing just maybe probably only.
Let me just take the old days.
Let me just tip you something. Let me just tip you. NAPS is a body. It has a national body, National Association of Proprietors of Private School, and some of our challenges differs. We have at state level, like FCT now, and not only FCT, at area councils, which we have different challenges. Like we have a FCT itself, we have Abaji, Kwali, and all those things. So most of these taxable items, we tackle it by negotiation. We go to them.
Okay.
We negotiate with them. Politics is a game of number, and negotiation is also a game of number.
And have they been responding?
Actually, they have been trying, because initially they gave us almost 22 taxable items, which we have tried to drastically reduce. Because some of them, they tell you, because you are using TV, you are going to pay for TV license, you are going to pay for, we copy some things from abroad which are not workable in Nigeria. So all those things are killing our business. We want government to still do more. The tenement trade, all this. Now, look at it. We are paying annual due to Department of Quality Assurance. After paying that annual due, There's an amount to pay if you are secondary school, if you have only primary school. If there's an amount to pay if you have secondary school, junior and secondary. And so those amount will pay yearly. Okay. Apart from that, FCT IRS, you pay FCT IRS. They'll tell you these are the taxes you have to pay. I know this. Their mobile advert is there. You are carrying your children on the road, on the bus. If you don't have your mobile advert, they'll stop you. So even the signpost, you pay for signpost for advertising your school. All those things, the taxes are too much. We want government to still come and help us. It's not that we are making money in school, in private school. No, we are not making money.
Because if it's a friendly environment, the parents will not have to, go overboard to pay school fees.
Yeah, that's it.
So more like a cry of help.
We need help from National Association of Proprietary Private. We need help.
If we are going to look at the state of education in Nigeria and we want it to improve, we must tackle all sectors, from the public sector to the private sector.
And you know that we have more Nigerian children in private schools.
Now.
More Nigerian children in private schools. Because I can use my area for example. There's only one public school, but we have about in some area. Go to Jikwe Ward, go to Kurudu Ward. We have about close to 200 schools.
Wow,
yeah,
that's a number.
And that's you are talking about Abuja. Right?
No. What we're talking about
is a national issue.
What he is saying is not even Amac Zenith totally. He's talking about just one word.
One word.
Like Jukwe is having about 200 schools.
So
not to talk of the whole Abuja, not to talk of the whole Nigeria, not to talk of Kwali.
So the situation, the problems may actually be peculiar to those zones. We just hope the right people have been watching and listening, and we hope that we probably would get some recommendation and resourceful help from the government soon. So your last words, gentlemen. Thank you for coming on the show. But before you go, any last words?
Thank you. My last word is to plead with the government to come to our rescue. I'm pleading with the government to come to our assistance, most especially in reducing our taxation. There is too much multiple taxation. We need grant, we need loan, and I'm pleading with the government not to see us as a money-making venture. Yes. We are not making money. Okay. We are helping Nigerian children to be educated.
All right, thank you, sir. What about you, sir?
Thank you very much. I would like the government to at least create a safe environment for education in Nigeria, and also they should also assist us, as the chairman have said. I'm the secretary. I said that government needs to help us. They need to come to our aid and negotiate with us to reduce all these taxes so that there can be a free fair of doing business in Nigeria.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
They're asking that to create a safe, the government has to come to the aid of NAPS to help create that safe environment of learning. Particularly you private schools, this is the foundation, of a child's learning process. So it's one sector that nobody should actually bypass. Or despise, actually. Thank you so much, sirs, for coming.
Thank you.
We'll take a short break. It's still the Breakfast Show, reaching you live from the BRL TV studios.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us on today's Breakfast Show.